Hey, what is up, y'all? We are back for another episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 10, episode 7, BeTwan Two Worlds, whatever that means. And I just knew I saw a ghost on my screen when I saw Destiny pop up and had the nerve to be first on the episode. I said, oh, shoot, check her out. You decided to finally clock in only halfway through the season, probably, but better late than never. So we have a sit down with her and Lance. They're finally hashing things out because they have not seen or spoken to each other since this whole baby fiasco. And so the energy is very awkward, and Lance wastes no time. He gets right to it. He says, look, you found out about the baby the same way everybody else did. He didn't tell a single soul, not even Chris and Nell, about this baby because he had to wait and make sure first. So it's given that this was a wild night. I don't know if he was in Vegas or something, and this was a what happens in Vegas type of night. Something went down. It seemed like there was some alcohol or some weed or something. I don't know what you had going on, but he seemed like he had to wait and be very certain before he claimed this child. So it's given that this clearly was not planned. You were not in a relationship with this woman, had no intentions on settling down with this woman and having a child. So this clearly was not planned. And he did not tell a single soul. He made that very clear. And he also says that, him and Destiny were just talking. It wasn't really official. He saw some red flags. And he says, look, I'm human. I didn't really bring it up to you, but I was in my feelings because I hired my bodyguard for some of your events, and you was low-key flirting with the bodyguard. What's that about? But you just said yourself, sir, listen, we open, like we in the talking stages. We ain't official, so hey, the bodyguard cute. I was checking him out. It ain't like I went and sat on the man's lap or something. I just, I was looking a little googly eyed. I was throwing out little comments here and there, but I don't think she went very far, to the point where he should be in his feelings if we're in this talking stage. But see, that be the thing. Men, a lot of times, I'm sorry to, throw us under the bus, but a lot of times you want to put out there that, oh, it's nothing serious. We're just talking when it's convenient to you, but then let the woman go do something. Then it's like, well, wait, you got a problem, but I thought we was just talking. So what's the issue? Don't be mad because she came across somebody too. And the man looked pretty tall. Lance looked a little short, no shade. So this, I'm not even gonna bring any other shows into this. If you know, you know. But come to find out, he drops a whole bomb, and he says, "That's my god brother." And Destiny just sitting there like, yeah, well, damn, didn't know all that. So yeah, that was yet again awkward. And, she gets right to it and she says Trish told her that he's interested. And she says, well, to be honest, the man is fine. So I'm kind of interested too. I might take him up on his offer. And Lance says, well, I just had a baby and I wasn't the most forthcoming. So I guess there's nothing I can really say, which you right. You certainly right. And he gave her his blessing, and he asked how her dating life is going. Like, Lance, come on now. We could have just ended the conversation. We could have just boxed up this food and just left it there. She says she's taking her time, and they have a little kiki, and she like, well, I guess that's why you went and conceived the whole baby, because maybe I was taking too damn long. And he kiki and say, well, yeah, and they go about their business. Next up, we see Maurice for he doing some virtual golf, And then in walks Chris Fletcher, then walks in Ken, then walks in Will, then walks in Martell, then walks in Lance. I'm like, well, damn. Every ninja in Huntsville is up in here. Who else gonna walk in here? And so Martell asks Lance how him and Destiny are. He says he should have told her about the baby, which you ain't had this energy when you was talking to Destiny. And he admits that he still has feelings and whatnot for her. You should have had this conversation with Destiny. Why is you having this conversation with Martell? Yeah, literally was just talking. There was plenty of time that you could have brought this up. But no, you wanted to be all nonchalant, acting like, oh, well, we was just talking. We was just on a talking stage. We had already said that we wasn't in nothing serious. And, you know, I'm a man. I got a baby on the way. It's whatever. I didn't even tell my mom, so I damn sure wasn't finna tell you. You want to act all nonchalant and like you ain't really care and all of that. Here you are telling Martell, oh, I should have told her. Oh, I still have feelings. Bye, Lance. Bye. And then talking about some, oh, well, word on the street is that she out here feeling somebody like you didn't just have a conversation with her. Why is you acting weird? And then you telling Martell of all people, stop. Just please stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. This is the wrong person to be telling your business to. So let's stop talking to Martell. And so Maurice says he need to get the snip snip because you just had a surprise baby and all. Clearly, you're not finna stop having sex. And Maurice, what's that? How can you relate to this? What you got going on? But Saved by the Bell. I'm not finna get into Maurice right now. Saved by the Bell. Marceau walks in, and Martell is just smiling just the whole time. I don't think he closed his mouth since Marceau walked in the door. Because Martell likes Marceau. Marceau, oh my goodness, I'm getting too mixed up. Martell wants validation from Marceau. And he can't take it because Marceau is going to give it right back to him. Marceau is not somebody that he can fool with his little mind games or that he's going to have in his feelings from when he throws out his little jabs and he goes low. Marceau going to meet you where you at. And Marceau is the type where two can play that game. And I'm going to beat you at your own game. And I'm going to do it in a way where I don't have to go low. I don't got to get all messy. He's going to give you a nice, classy, wholesome, grown man read. Okay. He not finna stoop low and go into the gutter with you. And I feel like Martell respects that about him. And again, wants his validation, wants his friendship. You want to be cool with him, but you just too childish to admit it. You too childish to tell him how you really feel about him. So you resort to all of these little messy ass antics. And it's just so tired. And point proven, Marceau walks over, acknowledges Martell, speaks, say what's up or whatever. Martell would have made a whole scene out of it if the situation was reversed. Martell would have walked past, act like he didn't see Marceau, or probably gave him a little fake handshake or something and did the little, because he is just a child. And he in his confessional talking about, oh, well, he being fake because he know we on the outs. He gonna come over and try to speak like ain't nothing going on. Damned if he do, damned if he don't. Because if he would have walked past you, you would have had a problem with that too. And again, you have not stopped smiling since this man walked in the door. So miss me with that, Martell. You was happy as hell that man came over and spoke to you. And so, oh, excuse me. So let's get to it. Ken starts off the conversation expressing his frustration with Trish. He says he feels like after all this time, he's getting tired of making all these sacrifices and all of the stuff all of the baggage essentially that's coming along with this relationship. All this time that went by, he done invested all of this into it, and he doesn't feel like he is getting much in return, but just more baggage. He grab one baggage and get over that one. Here comes some more. Ken, this is your fault because you put up with this for this long. You act like a lapdog. I was trying to think of a way to put it kindly, but you act like a lapdog and you let Marquez just play with y'all for this long, and now how many years in are they? I'm not sure. I'm not even gonna throw out no number because it's gonna be a lie. I don't know how many years they're into this relationship, but you done let it go on this long. The lady done been married the whole time. You done let Marquez walk in and out the house, playing with y'all. You done let Trish play in your face with this Martell situation and all her lying and all her BS, and just, it's too late. It's too late to want to act all fed up and act like you over it and you rise above. You either gonna leave or you gonna stay. Period, point blank. But to try to put your foot down now and try to stand up and be the almighty Ken, it's too late. You missed the moment. You should have said something a long time ago, but you just sat and let everybody just play in your face and just go along with everything to the point that now y'all deep in this, and Trisha's already accustomed to being this way because she's comfortable in how things are, because this is how things have been since y'all have gotten together. So what you gonna do, Ken? Because I'm tired for you. But Marceau asks, when she finally does get this divorce, are you gonna marry her right afterwards? I don't think you should. I think after getting right out of a marriage, you need to cool off for a little bit before you hop right back into another one. And he claims that he don't know if he wants to marry her right after that. He might need a little cool off period himself, because he says Trish has other issues outside of just dealing with Marquez. Oh, okay, Ken. All right, Ken. I don't feel like you going nowhere, Ken. And I think you know that you're not going nowhere. You're just talking a big game in front of the fellas. Let's be real here. And so Martell asks Ken how he knows Ariane. And he says, Trish said he knows Ariane. Ken says he don't know what he talking about. He ain't never met that woman a day in his life. So he asked Will if he knows her. And Will said he only knows her from going over to his son's mom's place before. That's the only time he's seen her. He said, I don't know her like that though. And then we go around the table jokingly asking everybody else if they know her. Don't nobody know her but you, Martell. Don't nobody care about that lady. And Martell couldn't wait to be messy and throw a little shade at Marceau, because he says to Will, oh, that's a real man right there. He owned his stuff. That's a real man right there. Basically insinuating that Marceau isn't. Okay, Martell, because here you go, being childish. Just like I said earlier, you couldn't wait to start being messy, throwing shade like you always do, because you are the queen of mess, well, the king of mess, excuse me. Always somewhere acting like a big queen. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful by calling him that, but Martell just is so messy, and it's not a good look. You're a grown ass man. Like, I don't even want to do the man thing, but you a grown ass man. Like, it's not even just that you're a man, but you're well into your 40s. You got kids. You'd have been married. Like, come on now. And then you dealing with other grown ass men too. Cut all this messy, shady stuff, and you do it with everybody. Go heal. Go get some therapy. Go get yourself to get your life together. I just feel like Martell is just so envious and so bitter. Like, get your stuff together. It's not cute. And you could be cute. He's an attractive dude, but all that ugliness on the inside just makes you look ugly on the outside as well. So yeah, he throw his little shade, and then he says Marceau brought up Ariane out getting ran through in the streets of Huntsville, so that's why he brought up Tisha and one of his friends, which was way back in college. Everybody grown as hell now, so that's irrelevant. And then Will makes a joke saying he does know Ariane. He said they had a training session at his house. He was throwing a little shade back at Martell because Martell did that whole thing where he tried to insinuate something happened with Trish when they were training. So clever, see? And that's my man Will. I ain't got to tell y'all. I say it every time I talk about Huntsville. Will is the star of this show at this point. Will is going to speak on it. Will is going to let you know his thoughts. Will is going to crack some grown man shade, not no messy little. I'm not even gonna go there. Will gonna throw his little jabs. Will gonna throw out some slick comments. Will gonna make you cackle. Will gonna make you key a little bit. Will gonna call out the BS, and he gonna talk about it. And I like that. Marceau starts throwing some shade, talking about he wants some coleslaw. Apparently, Ariane's nickname is Coleslaw because she's a side. It's the fact that they call her coleslaw, not even like a good side. Not no greens, not no mac and cheese, not no yams, coleslaw. Like, that is wow. And that's what she deserves. Don't nobody see it for Ariane, girl. You need to just pack up your things and go back to where you came from. Anyway, Will, per usual, is the one to call it out and say, look, cut the mess. What's the tea? What's going on between Marceau and Martell? Because it seems like there's something deeper going on than what y'all two are trying to let on that the situation is. And so Martell claims he's been asking the same thing for the past year. Whatever, Martell. You've been asking nothing. You've been just running your mouth. And so Maurice says he thinks it goes back to the whole issue with Scope, which is the company that they were supposed to start way back when and was supposed to, combine their names. That's how they got it's supposed to be Scott and Holt. So that's how they got the Scope. And so he says, why did they get bought out? The guys, they keep having this back and forth. Martell gives his side of the story on the whole Scope thing, and then Marceau gives his side of the story, and it's not adding up. The guys are sitting here just lost, and they're saying none of it makes any sense. Marceau says Martell is trying to sell it as though he was doing him a favor with the whole Scope thing, and Marceau says he continues to make bad decisions, and he blames everyone else for his bad decisions, which I agree. And he says he started seeing Marceau rising and him falling, and now he wants to bring him down with him, which I agree. And Marceau says he made a joke about Martell cheating, and he apologized for it, and he feels like Martell also is still a little resentful regarding some of the jokes and the statements he made, but he says it really wasn't a big deal. I mean, you crack jokes and talk shit all the time, so excuse the hell out of me for cracking 2 jokes on you. And Martell goes on interviews and blogs and always has his name in his mouth, so what's the big deal? That's essentially what he's saying. And he says, keep my name out your mouth. There's no need to keep bringing me up. We not friends. We not cool. I don't see it for you, so I don't know why you even keep bringing me up. It's nothing to discuss here. And these two just keep going back and forth. The men are over it because clearly nothing is going to get resolved. They're just taking jabs at each other, and it's just a continuous back and forth with no sense of anything. Nothing is making sense. So Maurice feels like maybe things will finally get resolved, or they'll be able to at least communicate a little better and hear each other out if they just sit down and have a one-on-one together without everybody else around putting their input, and without Martell feeling like he needs to put on a show because everybody else is there. You know, Martell feeds off of attention. So with everybody else being there, he's going to be performative and of course put on a show to try to be messy, because he is the king of mess. I will call him the king, not the queen. All right, so let's move on to Nell. She meets up with Lance and Twan. So this is where the title came from, with Twan. And they're having a conversation about how Lance sat down with Destiny and basically said that the two didn't work out, the baby conversation, and revealed that Twan is the godson, which, now that we got the close-up on Twan, Twan is fine. So I see it, Destiny. Go ahead, girl. I'm not mad at you. I do not blame Destiny for feeling how she feels, because he's fine. And she didn't know. Which brings me to my point with Nell. Nell keeps trying to insinuate that she played in Lance's face and that she doing stunts and shows, trying to get with all the 5 men in their circle. Lance is the one who had to tell Destiny that that was your godson. It's not like she set out to intentionally mess with your godson or somebody in y'all inner circle. In her mind, it was just somebody from security, and he fine, he cute, he tall, he chocolate, he got some locks, like he fine. So she not thinking twice about that. How was she to know? And Lance literally said when he told her, she gagged, her jaw dropped. That's your what? So yes, now that it's out there, it's awkward, but I don't think it's fair to throw that on her, that she's just intentionally trying to mess with everybody over there in Miss Nell's world and asking everybody, oh, did you hit that? Did you hit that? Or, oh, I know my son, I know he hit that. And like, I don't like how you doing Destiny right now. And I'm not one to necessarily see it for Destiny. I did earlier in the seasons, but over time, I'm like, Destiny, you don't even seem like you want to be here. So I kind of checked out of the whole Destiny storyline. But still, as one of your fellow cast members and another woman, I don't like how you speaking down on her. Like she just some washed up smut or something, and your sons is just the finest thing ever, and they could just have their way with her. I don't like how you doing Destiny right now. Destiny did not set out to get with your godson. She set out to get with the fine security guard that she just saw across the room at the party. That's all. Anybody would have looked at him and been like, damn, who that? Your son ain't all that. He cute, but he ain't all that. Twan, Lance. So I'm just saying. And then your son is the one, let's not forget, who has the damn side baby. So you sitting here talking about how Destiny act in her ways and running through people. They were supposed to be talking. Your son then went out and had a whole child and didn't tell nobody about it. Didn't even tell your ass about having this child, because he had to make sure it was his. Didn't even know if it was his baby or not. Ain't engaged, ain't married, this ain't his girlfriend. Like, this is just a random night, and he done popped up with a child. So how dare you sit here and want to run Destiny's name into the ground? Meanwhile, your son popped up with a whole damn baby. So hell yeah, Destiny saw somebody that was fine, and she went and she moved the hell on, because what was she to do? sit here and be coleslaw to Lance. Please, please. Antoine, no, he like Destiny. He's sitting here trying to act all. Sir, you see it for her because he keeps saying, "Oh, she's very attractive," and spit it out, spit it out. I would love to know how old he is. I don't know if they said that. He seemed a little young minded, so Destiny, that might be something to watch out for. Yeah. If I was Destiny, he cute, but I wouldn't have time to deal with y'all BS. Your son then played me and had a baby on me that he couldn't even communicate or tell me about. Didn't even tell me about his feelings and his thoughts. He over here telling them to Martell. Then you got Twan just sitting here looking like a deer in headlights, just stuttering, too afraid to speak up on how he feels. And then you got Nell over here just accusing you of being like some smut, being some hoe or something. Later for y'all. I wouldn't have time to even deal with y'all. I will actually go find me another man elsewhere. Cause y'all on some other BS and I'm grown and I don't have the time. Okay. So yeah. Destiny, he is fine, but you might want to move on. Cause he seemed a little immature. And now, okay, so now when Destiny sit down, Destiny's whole thing is, listen, we need to address this as women, which I agree because now you being real shady and you was treating her like some random bitch off of the street or something. This is Destiny. You know how Destiny is, and you know Destiny's character. You know Destiny ain't just no hoe that's just trying to run through your family and just break down all of these men. Like, come on. And trying to like pit them against each other and be messy and cheat on your son with the godson. Like, you know her character enough to know that she doesn't deserve how you're treating her right now. I get being protective over your son and that you love your son and this is your godson, so how that can come off, but you being a little harsh right now. You being kind of cold, which I guess apparently some of that comes from Destiny's comments of saying that she needs to reevaluate their friendship because this is one of the first things that Nell brings up. Nell says, well, look, you told me that you needed to reevaluate our friendship because of the situation with Sonny. So you over here talking about how I'm acting. Meanwhile, according to you, I don't even know if we were still friends or not. And Destiny is like, well, look, I just want to be back in a space where I can pick up the phone and call you for advice again because she looks at her like a motherly figure. And Destiny, be careful what you ask for because it's only a matter of time before she starts saying she your mentor, running around telling everybody that she counseling you and whatnot. You one of her clients. You know how Miss Nell do. So be careful, tread lightly. But Destiny said the thing is, yes, I said I was processing and reassessing our friendship, but I never acted on it. I never treated you differently, whereas you did. So that was her whole thing. And then she says, Tisha told me that you went to go meet up with your grandbaby, and Nell loses it. Y'all know Nell does not see it for Tisha, especially after the whole little rodeo Cowboy Carter party where Tisha was doing all of this, all up in Fletcher's face. She do not see it for her. So she said, listen, you tell your little friend to go worry about her broken marriage and all the stuff that's going on over there in their household before coming to worry about what's going on in mine. Now run tell her that. Nell was mad. You messed up by bringing up Tisha in the equation because she do not like Tisha, at least not right now. And so Nell says you want to question me. Meanwhile, you was flirting with my godson right in front of my face. And Destiny's like, well, I didn't know that was your godson. And Nell is saying, well, you Also didn't even know that my son was having a child at the time. So according to me, y'all was still on good terms and still in a healthy relationship. So why would you be making googly eyes at anybody or be flirting with anybody, especially in front of me when you know that's my son? So you were already being disrespectful by flirting with somebody in front of my face, whether it was my godson or not. But now that you know it is my godson, that just makes it even worse because this is somebody that's I consider my family, and you flirting with somebody else outside of my son, and it happens to be a relative. So I, I can understand that. I can understand that. I ain't gonna act like I don't understand where she's coming from with that comment. Um, but then she wants to run down the list talking about well, you was with Moses, you was with Lance, you was with Twan. Destiny like, hold up. Like, you not finna put all these bodies on me. The only person that I was with was Moses. I didn't sleep with your son. And Nell says, I don't believe that because I know how my son is. And yeah, I don't believe that y'all didn't sleep together. Now, that's out of pocket. And again, you keep trying to make Destiny just like see some little hoe, but apparently it sounds like your son is the hoe because you know your son just be going around sleeping with people, and oh, there's no way he could have been with you and they sleep with you. It sounds like you need to check your son. Your son sound like he's the hoe. You running around trying to insinuate that and put that on everybody else. Meanwhile, the problem seems to be your son. Your son is the one who had this baby. So, what is we talking about? And so, Destiny wants to correct things, and she says, I said, if Twan was to ever ask me out and be interested, I would say yes, but he didn't approach me. I don't know for a fact. Someone told me that he's interested. So I'm just saying if he was, hell yeah, I'm going. Cause he fine. And your son ain't shit. So I'm not sitting around waiting for your son. I don't give a damn if it's your godson. He cute. I'm finna be in your family one way or another. So girl, you may as well just accept it. You getting mad and you just sitting here wasting your time because girl, you gonna be my mom whether you like it or not. Oh, but no, on a serious note, she said when people in this group have a problem with me, they immediately denounce their friendship with me. And she felt real bad about the fact that Nell said, I don't know her. She was quick to write her off and be like, well, I don't know her. I don't know Destiny. And Destiny said, that hurt my feelings, because I look at you like a mother figure. And that's what everybody in this group does. They just cast me to the side the moment they have an issue with me. So Destiny tells her she loves her. The two appear to be cordial, at least for now. We'll see, because Lord forbid you and Twan fall out or don't work out. It's going to be a whole nother issue with you and Miss Nell. But for now, they're cordial. So that is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. My name is BeTwan Ryan. Please like, comment, subscribe. It feels good to be back. I will hopefully, I'm not going to say hopefully, I will be on track with these next episodes going forward. I have to reevaluate some things. I'm new. I'm trying to figure out my way. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to navigate all of this, figure out my schedule, figure out backgrounds. I'm still learning editing and some of the technical things. So I'm a work in progress, but bear with me, y'all. Hopefully you'll stick around for the ride. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. My name is BeTwan Ryan. Until the next time, peace.